To debrief what we've just heard Trump saying is France before Shirli Sitbon. Hi, Shirley.
Hello.
Trump there announcing a new military coalition to combat cartels across South America.
Yes, that was the line that he continued throughout much of the speech, going to other issues and coming back to this. But yes, saying that there's a need to eradicate cartels, that cartels are like ISIS, he said, like the Islamic State group. He said that even wartime weapons can be used against them because they're so powerful and have taken so much power and have caused so much devastation across the continent. He said even missiles could be fired at some of them. Yes, so talking and also, you know, he said that every country you gathered there should first start on its own to make sure that law and order are abided by, that they fight drug gangs, traffickers. But he said there's also a regional war which they should work on together. And he singled out Mexico. He said that there is an epicenter that he recognized for the drug cartels across America, and that is the country of Mexico. He said that the cartels there are orchestrating much of what's happening across America. He had some comments about the president. They're not extremely respectful, but yes, he said that he's hesitant, but that, yes, the focus is to try and work and find ways to fight these cartels across the continent. Did not give much more information about this, but the intent is there. And, yeah, the room was backed his all of his words and his sentences, noting that insecurity has brought to power many right-wing leaders in Latin America, many people who are there with him in the room and who support and share his opinion and perhaps his roadmap on how to fight cartels.
We also heard from Trump just then a very familiar claim that he's ended 8 wars, and he mentioned that he might be on the verge of ending another one, referring, of course, to Russia's war in Ukraine. Tell us more, Shirley, about what he was saying there.
Yeah, so it's true that the mood was extremely odd, and yes, again, talking about the wars he's ended, talking about, if we were talking about Ukraine and Russia, he wasn't extremely optimistic today, as we've seen him in the past. He said that various moments, the U.S., Donald Trump was close to clinching a deal, but that either Ukraine or Russia would back out at the last minute. He said those two hate each other so much, it's almost impossible to find some common points to seal a deal or even a ceasefire. He said that the U.S. doesn't really have an interest in this war, and that it's more a favor. He's acting as a favor to Europe, and also for human life, saying that yes, 25,000 people die there, are killed there every month in this war, mainly soldiers, and also blaming interpreters, because he said that. Well, talking about the fact that doesn't speak Spanish, he went on to talk about interpreters, how he prefers interpreters and translators to talking the language itself. But he said that some of them are really bad, and then in some major meetings in other parts of the world, we can imagine who he's referring to, the meetings were, his words of wisdom were not well translated, and so the meeting did not turn out as well as he'd expected, and the results weren't there in the end. But it's not his fault; it's the translator and the interpreters who did a bad job. And he's quoted. He talked about some meetings with Vladimir Putin, with President Xi Jinping. So yes, perhaps saying that the fact that he did not end more wars, or the wars he's talking about, he's referring to, are not his fault, that he's done his best, and that it turned out badly, but not due to his actions.
And let's talk for a moment, Shirley, about Donald Trump, the man here. We just watched him delivering that address. He seems relaxed. He was very much having fun with this speech, it seemed.
Yes, and he's with people who agree with him and who laughed at his jokes. Now, very strange, because sometimes mocking the countries, mocking the language, mocking even people from the administration, Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying he's done a wonderful job, one of the top secretaries of states in history, but he's very at ease here in Latin America. It's his place. He talks the language. I don't have that, says Donald Trump. And he said exactly, I'm not going to learn your language. I forgot the exact word, but he's not.
I think it was, I won't learn your damn language.
Exactly. I won't learn your damn language. So yes, extremely, awkward, but people in the room laughed, and he seemed indeed to enjoy himself. And yes, I talked about those statements about the president of Mexico saying that she had a beautiful voice, was a beautiful woman, and then saying that he wanted to attack cartels in Mexico, and then pretending to imitate her, saying no, don't attack Mexico, areas in Mexico. So yes, that was there, and it needs to be analyzed to understand what's going to happen, what its real plans are. But yes, words that are indeed in a joking mood, but in fact are very serious and extremely disrespectful to some people.
Shirli Sitbon, thank you very much, and of course.